Welcome to the video. Nick here from Noob to Pro, and I hope you are doing great today. We've been talking all about the different creatures of Ark. Any tips and tricks on how to tame them, what to do with them, and have they got any special abilities? Today it's all about the Therizinosaur, so let's go find one. We're looking at the Therizinosaur spawn map for the island, and as you can see, though they're not very common, they do spawn in large areas of the map. These guys can be pretty brutal, so I just want to show you what will happen if you try taking them on without preparing properly. They're on you within seconds, your armour isn't going to last very long at all, and you will last less time than that. We found a Therizinosaur just across the water, so we've built a taming pen just here. We're going to use Hurricane to lure it into the pen, and we've got live bait in the pen. A turtle there, quite a reasonable level with a large health pool. Now that is very important. You put stone pillars 2 high all the way around, apart from the one gap in the middle there, which is how we get the Therizinosaur in there. Make sure you put your turtle on passive. There we go. And you also need to put your Argentavis on passive, otherwise it will attack as soon as you jump off. I'm not overly keen on putting the Argentavis on passive. The other way of doing this trap is using a large bear trap instead of the live bait. The problem with large bear traps, sometimes by the time you've got the creature that you're trying to tame lured towards the trap, you'll find a different creature, maybe a parasaur, in that bear trap, and it's all going to go wrong from there. It took me a while to find him again, but here it is, level 40 Therizinosaur. Now, unlike most herbivores, you don't actually have to hit them to get them to anger on you. As you can see, all I did there was fly toward it, and it started to attack. Now, they will chase you. Just make sure that you don't get too far ahead, because you want them right behind when you get to the pen. I wouldn't try doing this with a Pteranodon. They have a much lower health pool than the Argentavis, and there'd be a good chance it would be dead by the time you got to the pen. Now it's fallen for the trap. It's attacking the Carbonarmis there, so we'll pop some more pillars in there to trap it in the pen. And we are free to trank it out in whichever way we choose. We are using a long neck with trank darts. You can use crossbows with trank arrows. If you're a high enough level, you can always use the long neck with shocking trank darts. We, as I said, are using the regular trank darts here. Now, the Therizinosaur can damage stone, but at such a slow rate that it's not going to make any difference. It will not be able to break the stone pillars before we get it tranked out. So they don't take that much to get them unconscious. They don't have headshot multipliers, so feel free to hit it in the body anywhere that you can do, basically. We're doing 26 damage to the body, and we'll just go for a headshot there, and yeah, 26 again. Now it looks like it's trying to turn to run now, which is an indication that its torpor is up and it's nearly ready to fall unconscious, so it shouldn't take too much longer. And there we go, it's unconscious. So all we need to do now is put Hurricane here back onto attack your target. I don't like leaving it defenseless on passive. And then we'll put some kibble into the Therizinosaur. We're using exceptional kibble here. Let's see if we can get into the inventory. Why can't I get into the inventory? Okay. As you can see, the taming bar is already, sorry, not the taming bar, the unconscious bar is already coming down quite a bit. So we need to get into that inventory. We'll try going around the other side here. We need, there we go. Yep, so we'll get into the inventory, we'll put the kibble in there, but very importantly, we'll also put the narcotic in there. As I was just touching on there, the unconscious bar goes down very, very quickly, so you're going to have to use quite a bit of narcotic. Quick look at the levels. We've got just over 1500 health there, which is reasonable. The stamina on 450. The weight is important on these guys because they are gatherers, and that is 401, just over that. And we've got 155 on their melee damage. Okay, so as you can see, the torpidity at the bottom there, it is going down at quite a pace. If you don't have a lot of narcotics on you, this is all going to go really wrong. It's going to wake up and you're not going to get your tame. So as I've said, we're using kibble. Kibble is the fastest way of taming these things. Usually we would say it's the most effective way of taming, but to tell you the truth, the difference between kibble, crops and mejo berries and mixed berries isn't that much on the effectiveness, but for the taming time, this level 40, should take just over 20 minutes with the kibble. If you use any of the other ways of taming, it's going to take about an hour and 45 minutes. So there's a huge difference there, and obviously there'll be a big difference on the amount of narcotics. I think I'm going to be using about 40 to 50 narcotics here. If I was using crops, I'd be using over 300 narcotics. So yeah, that's a good reason to be using the kibble. I know it's one of the more difficult kibbles to make, but it is worth doing it unless you want to be hanging around for nearly 2 hours just to get your tame done. Now I'm just waiting for it to take its first bite so I can see how many more kibble I need to leave in there. And as you can see, that unconscious bar has dropped. It's getting down to the 2/3. I think it might even get down to about half before it even takes a bite of this kibble. We'll just have to see. Now, as we said, these guys are gatherers. They gather more or less anything apart from the rocks and metal. They'll gather fibre for you, they'll gather berries for you, they'll gather thatch for you, they'll gather wood for you. So there we go, it's taken its bite and it's gone over just over 15% there. So I should only need to leave, another 6 in there. I'm going to put some narcotic into it now. I think I'll take some of the kibble out in a moment as well, because I don't want it waking up and eating all the kibble, because I've said it's quite a difficult kibble to make, is this one. So we're going to jump forward now, and I'll see you once she's tamed. So she's just woken up at level 59, as expected. We'll have a quick look at the stats. Oh, that's quite good. She's got, about 900 into the health there. Okay, so about 150 into the stamina as well. That weight is a bit disappointing. I think she's only got about 7 into the weight. And the melee damage over 100 there. So all in all, not too bad. So we'll pop a saddle on her. Get rid of these stone pillars in the middle there. We've seen how to tame a Therizinosaur. Now, let's find out what she can do. As we mentioned, these guys are mainly used for gathering. They can gather quite a lot of different things. If you use the beak attack here on the bushes, they will get quite a lot of berries. Also, they can get wood doing that as well, though that is not the main way of getting wood. We'll come to that in just a moment. Let's get a few more berries here. Okay, let's see what we've got. We'll just take this narcotic out. So we've got just over 100 berries there in just a few seconds. We also got over 100 wood as well as these seeds here. So if you're going to go for wood, use the main attack with the claws there. The only thing is there, it gathers wood so much, so quickly, that you will get encumbered straight away. Maybe think about having a parasol with you to offload the wood too, but we've got about 350 wood there in seconds. Now we haven't got the parasol with us to offload to, so we're just going to dump all this weight. Now the third way of gathering is this. It looks like it's tickling there. That was a tree. I actually meant to go to a bush. It got a little bit of thatch and a little bit of wood there, but if you go to a bush and do that, you will get fibre, and a lot of it as well. Let's just see what we get in just those few seconds. Wow, we've got over 600 fibre in just a few seconds doing that there. The only downside to the Therizinosaur as a gatherer, unlike most gatherers, it doesn't have any weight reduction capabilities on any of the resources that it gathers, like for instance the Doedicurus does with the stone. So that's why it gets encumbered very, very quickly. The Therizinosaur is really good at covering most terrains on the map, so they're really good for travelling with. They're also really good at fighting. Now we've got a couple of Carnos here, don't know what level, a couple of Parasaurs getting in the way as well, but we'll just see how quick the Therizinosaur takes on the Carnos. As you can see, the Carnos are pushing back because that is one of their attacks, but the Carnos are getting destroyed quite easily there. Now there's a couple of things I want to show you. First of all, the Therizinosaur, though it doesn't eat the meat, it gathers it, so that is really, really helpful for you. And also the way these guys regen their health. If you use sweet veg cake, if the Therizinosaur gets below, I think it's 85% on its health, it will automatically eat a sweet veg cake and gain, I believe, 500 health points. Now it can't do another one within 30 seconds, so we'll just see the countdown time. It's on 4, 3, 2 and with there. Now okay, it must have been above the 85% there, so I fed it another sweet veg cake and the health went up by another 500 points, so that's really useful there. We've got what looks to be an alpha raptor just here, so we'll see what she can do with the alpha raptor. Now remember, she's got that sweet veg cake in her. If her health drops and she hasn't eaten a sweet veg cake in the previous 30 seconds, she will automatically eat it and her health will go back up by another 500. So it's really useful if you're going into battle to have that sweet veg cake in the Therizinosaur's inventory before you start fighting. Now this Alpha Raptor's putting up a good fight here, but I don't think it's going to last much longer. In fact, it's running away. So we'll just get our stamina back up before chasing it. One thing I haven't mentioned with these guys, they've got a regular stamina drain, but their stamina does go back up quite quickly, so that's a real good bonus as well. Right, where's that Alpha God? I'm not letting it get away that easily. And there it is. Okay. So we'll just finish the Alpha off. Oh, it looks like it's brought some friends as well. Oh yeah, it ran off to get its friends, did it? Well, we're destroying them all straight away, quite easily. And basically I'm just showing you these guys are great fighters. Let's just finish this one off. And there you go. We've seen that she can take on Carnos and Alpha Raptors, but we've got a level 100 Rex here. So we've got some sweet veg cake in her inventory, so if she does get damaged, she will regen 500 health. Out of the way, Parasaur, please. There we go. Right, okay, I'm just going to wait for the Rex to give us its full attention. We don't want it to be an unfair fight, do we? Right, okay. And it's got distracted again. They do get distracted very, very easily, the Rexes. But so, you can see, we are doing more damage than the Rex per hit, and also we are getting many more hits in than the Rex is. Now this Rex is a higher level than the Therizinosaur, and as you can see, we're absolutely trashing it. And it's going to be dead very easily, is this Rex. And there we go. So we've gathered the meat as well, which is brilliant. It did lose some health, the Therizinosaur, so it obviously automatically took one of the sweet veg cakes and automatically regened its health there. Final thoughts on the Therizinosaur. These guys are quite a simple tame. Use a pen and don't forget to keep an eye on the torpidity so they don't wake up before they are tamed. The saddle is made on level 69. It's made with hide, fibre, wood and metal ingots, and it's also made in the smithy. Once tamed, these guys are a really good gatherer. The only thing that lets them down is how quickly they become encumbered, and that can be quite annoying. Away from gathering, they are a very good battle mount. They've got a powerful, fast attack, and they've got a large health pool. Okay guys, here's when I ask you what you think. I'd like to know what videos you'd like to see posted. Have you got any creatures that you're struggling with? Leave a comment down below in the comments and I will post that video for you. If you've learnt anything from this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any more of our videos like the one showing on screen right now. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.